This video covers how to aim, how much damage the weapons do, and what difference armour makes. You can skip to the area you're interested in the description of this video. I'd argue that with decent aim you can fight your way up to the gold ranks in competitive play, or even higher, even if your game sense is lacking. Obviously I recommend learning both. Firstly, the basics. Stand still, aim somewhere, and fire once. Look, it hits close to where you were aiming. Remember this. If all else fails and you're trying to hit something in game, relax, stand still, aim, and fire. You can always rely on this method if your spray and pray tactics fail you. Crouching will improve your accuracy further, as will using a scope if your weapon has one. Most do not, but even if they do, then you will only have to use it at extremely long ranges. Of course, it's a bit different with sniper rifles, since when you're not looking down the scope you have no crosshair and its accuracy will be very poor, as you can see here. Let's try the other extreme. Here's an AK-47, one of the most popular weapons in the game. Let's run and spray with it. If an enemy was stood in front of that wall, he would probably be okay. Let's test that theory. We can do much better. Let's start by standing still when spraying, which is already much more accurate than before. Isn't that interesting? It leaves a pretty pattern. If I do it a second time, you'll see that the result is similar. This isn't coincidence. If you're going to be holding down the fire button, you must learn this pattern so that you can compensate for it with your mouse, or God forbid, gamepad. There are websites that show these patterns should you be interested. I'll link to them in the description of this video. It's different for every weapon and I consider it an advanced topic to cover, so I won't go into it in depth right now. Just remember that spraying and praying doesn't work too well in CSGO. It's best practiced as I'm doing right now, on an empty deathmatch server with unlimited ammo. I'll explain how to set this up in the description of this video if you're interested. We've tried single shots and spraying. Is there a middle ground? Yes. You can fire 2 to 3 bullets with decent accuracy from most weapons. You can make it more difficult for enemies to hit you by strafing between these bursts. Remember to stop completely before firing or your accuracy will suffer. As you can see, it's possible with practice to fire a number of accurate shots once you master moving, stopping and shooting. This style of play is a good compromise, making you accurate and relatively difficult to hit. Pistols don't suffer quite so much from being fired while you're moving, so you might as well make the most of this and quickly strafe left and right to avoid being hit if they're shooting back at you. You'll soon learn how hard it is to hit strafing people who are using this tactic themselves in game. In general, the further the enemy is from you, the fewer bullets you should fire. You can get away with holding down the fire button if they're directly in front of you, provided that you compensate for the recoil, but further than that you should opt for more accurate, short taps. Remember that CSGO isn't a spammy game. It doesn't take 100 shots to kill an enemy. Let's study how many shots it takes from the M4A4 at close range to kill an unarmoured opponent. 1 in the head, 3 in the lower body, 4 in the upper body, and 5 in the legs. Bear in mind that this is a best case scenario since I'm stood right next to them. The damage you do decreases with distance. Rifles remain powerful, but cheaper pistols, shotguns and SMGs will quickly become useless if you're shooting them at range. Buying armour protects you from bullets and grenades. It halves damage from most pistols, SMGs and shotguns and can often help you to survive an extra shot from rifles. There are some weapons, such as the AK-47, that will kill in a single headshot even if the player is wearing a helmet. There are situations, particularly with armour, where shooting them in the dick or legs will deal more damage than in the upper body. Despite all this, I'd still recommend aiming further up because you have the chance of dealing a damaging headshot. When you're hit, your vision shakes, making it hard to aim. This is known as aim punch. Another benefit of armour is that it reduces this effect. This can really make the difference between life and death. You can buy a vest for $650, which protects your body and arms. If you get a helmet vest combo for $1,000, the only unprotected region will be your legs. Let's shoot these people again, this time equipped with armour. It now takes 2 shots instead of 1 to kill from a headshot. The lower body takes 4 instead of 3, and the upper body now takes 5 instead of 4 to kill. Legs remain unaffected. Conclusion? Even with armour, it doesn't take too much to kill somebody in CSGO. It's better to fire a couple of decent shots than loads of bad ones. CSGO punishes your aim a lot, and it's something you'll quickly get frustrated with unless you shoot smartly and precisely. Let's talk about reloading, which you'll probably have to do at some point. Ideally, you want as many bullets in your gun as possible before fighting an enemy, as running out or being caught out while reloading is pretty much guaranteed death. Because of that, after every encounter with the enemy, check your ammo and consider whether you need to reload. If you do, retreat or find somewhere safe to do it. Most weapons have a lot of reserve ammo, but some don't, such as the CZ, M4A1S, USPS, and the P250. You have to make every shot from these count, and if you're struggling, consider investing in a decent backup weapon to switch to when times get tough. With practice, you should be able to fare with just your primary weapon. And that's how weapons work in CSGO. Fire accurate shots, if you have to spray then learn the recoil pattern, and remember to buy armour, it doesn't hurt your chances. Click on the video shown here to learn about the buy menu. As well as being fun, buying weapons adds a depth to CSGO that its rivals simply can't hope to compete with. Allow me to talk you through the armoury.